All for the best. Prince Amarpal was only 16 years old when his father died, and he became the next king. The young king did not like his father's ministers, so he chose a new one for himself. The new minister's name was Murlidhar. Murlidhar was a wise and cheerful man. He was sure that everything happened for the best. And whether the king had good luck or bad luck, he said, it's all for the best. At first, Amarpal was amused by these words. But when he heard them again and again, he began to get angry. And one day, he asked Murlidhar, do you never say it's all for the worst? No, Your Majesty, replied Murlidhar. I never say that because I am sure that everything happens for the best. One day the king of a neighboring country sent King Amarpal a set of hunting knives. Amarpal took them out of the case and showed them to Murlidhar. Careful, Your Majesty, said Murlidhar. These knives are very sharp. But Amarpal only laughed at him. He held up the knives and admired them. Suddenly one of them slipped, and while trying to catch it, he cut himself. A whole finger was cut off. Amarpal held out his bleeding hand. Murlidhar quickly put a bandage on it and said, never mind, Your Majesty, it's all for the best. Amarpal was in pain and very, very angry. You fool! I have lost a whole finger. How can you say it is all for the best? He shouted. He could not bear it any longer and called out, guards, take this man away and lock him up in prison. Don't ever let him out. The guards took Murlidhar away and locked him up. But Murlidhar only said, everything happens for the best. The king washed his hands and tied a bandage round his finger, but soon the cut began bleeding again. Later in the day, Amarpal went hunting in the forest alone. After some time he was tired and lay down on the grass and slept. A lion came that way and saw Amarpal. He went and sniffed at him. Amarpal woke up but lay still. He didn't dare to move. The lion smelled the dried blood on his hand and went away. Amarpal sat up and thanked God, and then he remembered Murlidhar and understood the cut finger had saved him. Amarpal went home and called his guards and said, bring Murlidhar to me. Murlidhar was happy to be out of prison. Amarpal said, Murlidhar, I now understand that losing my finger was for the best, but it wasn't good for you. You were put in the prison. How could that be the best for you? Easy, Your Majesty. Because I was in prison, I could not go with you to the forest. If I had gone into the forest, the lion would have eaten me. So you see, Your Majesty, everything happens for the best.